Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna talk about radioactive disaster, and we invented it, um, inspiring, inspired of Chernobyl disaster. So yeah.
Good evening. I am Valeria and this is NYNB News. On April 6, 1986, the world was living off on the most incredible disaster in history. It all started with a safe test that specially tailored to results in order to prove the good functioning of a reactor from the radioactive plant located in Kamowaki. According to INES, it was a major accident considered 7 scale because this one was too big. People were doing their current levels until the moment everything exploded, which generated a lot of fire destruction. The environment had a great color and people could very bake. Some people start getting sick because they were very contained. Incident at a nuclear power plant in Kamowaki shocked the world, permanently altered a region and left many questions unanswered. On April 25 and 26, 1988, the worst nuclear accident in history occurred in present-day Southern Norway, when a reactor at a nuclear power plant exploded and burned. This caused mutation in 736 people very exposed to the radioactive all day. They become zombies with extra parts of the body that come out in less than 2 hours. The incident, showed in secret, was Washer's moment in both the cold, was the history of a nuclear power. More than 30 years later, scientists estimate that the area around the former power plant will be not habitable for more than 100 years. This is because exposure can cause that a world new civilization turn into something different than humans. The possibility of people mutant and very high.
The accident was near of the city of Tamawaki, in the former NSCU. NSU was an organization that invested a lot of money in power plant reactors, and they made Soviet scientists in 1977 put into the nuclear plant, um, for RBMK. Um, those are reactors, firefighters that they try to put down the flames and to dose them with sun and all a lot of materials that could dose the flames, but they couldn't do a lot, so they just uh stop trying to dose them, and try they started to try to rescue the people that were needing help that day. Not a lot of people, nobody could evacuate in the surrounding areas, not even the town of Pripyat that was built in 1970s. and and there were two people there, and all the the resting people was um affected in some kind of way because of the fire and the explosion and radioactive air that they were breathing. Mm, Also, um, that that has an impact in the civilization, mm, political, because they couldn't talk too much about it, but it was so big that they had to talk about it because everyone noticed that they were suffering. There were people suffering this accident, so the political forces couldn't hide it. Um, um, Also, there were there were a lot of people um, affected with malformation or brain incapacities because radioactive air and particles were were a lot of particles in air and everything going through them, that it changed their DNA, and they started to becoming like some kind of zombies, and they had parts of their bodies that grew out of nowhere because of this accident. Um, if some people that survived everything that happened that day in Kamuwaki was that they were saying that if if political forces hadn't been rushing um, the people that was doing the test, they could have made something to to avoid it, to avoid that accident, because they were rushing the people that needed to do the test. So that basically um, didn't make didn't make the people to do what they needed to do and to take the precautions that they needed to take, and that was why they couldn't avoid the accident. It just happened, and it affected a lot of people until today. Today it cannot be Kamuwaki cannot be um with people there. Um, the people that can go to Kamuwaki has has a certificate or something that that they accept every damage that they could get by going there, and they have to use mask and a lot of protection to go in. So um that was everything for today. Thanks for keeping in tone with our news, and please keep in tone with our news every evening. Thank you so much. Bye.